Welcome to another Excel short reel. This presentation explains the difference between a relative reference and an absolute reference. Let's say that the child support payment for Adams, Bryant, and Davis has been increased by 2%. 2% is in cell F1, so in cell F3, I want to see how much of an increase that would be. So I'm going to press equals, click on cell E3, the asterisk for multiplication, and multiply that by F1 and press enter. Okay, so that will be an $11.32 increase. So then I can easily drag that down. Remember the autofill handle. I can drag that down to F5. Now, when I do that, notice that F4, there's a 0. That doesn't make sense. And in cell F5, there's a number of 2547. Why is that the case when I have often talked about using the autofill handle? Because the autofill handle keeps everything relative, and it's been working for us in the past, right? Okay, so let's look at cell F3 to see what we have in the formula bar. Equals E3 times F1. That's correct. Let's see what's in the formula bar for cell F4. Equals E4 times F2. There's nothing in F2. And then if you look at cell F5, we're multiplying E5 times the number that's in cell F3. That's because we kept everything relative, and that's been working for us the entire time. But we're saying we don't want to keep this relative because we're not multiplying going down, right? F2 and F3, we're multiplying everything by cell F1. That means that I have to create an absolute reference. And the way you would do that, let me just delete the results, is just by adding dollar signs. Watch. So I can press equals E3 times dollar sign F dollar sign 1, right? Because that's where the number is. Press enter. So then when I click on cell F3, I did get the same result, but this time when I click on my autofill handle and drag down, now I get the correct numbers. Notice each time in cell F4, my formula bar says equals E4 times dollar sign F dollar sign 1. And cell F5, I have equals E5 times dollar sign F dollar sign 1. So that's how you would create an absolute reference. The other way you could do that, because remember I told you to try to click on the actual cell. So let's say that I did this equals E3 times F1. Well, then I could easily just press F4 and F4 would automatically insert those dollar signs for me. Press enter, go back up to cell F3, drag the autofill handle down. There you go. Everything is kept absolute. And when I click F4, E4 times dollar sign F, dollar sign 1. And then for cell F5 equals E5 times dollar sign F, dollar sign 1. So the trick is, if you are trying to use an absolute value or an absolute cell within your calculation, then just make sure you make that cell absolute.